Happy Wednesday. We're here for a little Q&A for Etsy. We're going to look at your shops, answer your questions. I also have some great advice and strategies around increasing conversion rates and helping you with your SEO. So we'll have some great resources for you here on this live as well. But if you are here listening and you have questions, I will invite you to go ahead and put in the chat what your questions are, and we can jump right into that. We also have a couple of exciting things happening today and then tomorrow. So if you are an Etsy seller and you are frustrated with not seeing results, we have a couple of workshops or classes that are totally free for you. And I would invite you to these today and tomorrow. So I'm going to share my screen. We'll jump into what we're offering. And these are free classes. And then we'll go over some shops. So let's actually first jump into some shops. If you are here and you have an Etsy shop, we'll take a look. Let me make that look a little better. There we go. Okay, so I always like to go to our YouTube or our Facebook group, which I will put right here in the chat. This is our Facebook group. Now, this is not where we do coaching or our program. Nothing is related to that in here. However, there's a ton of people in here who post their stuff, all Etsy sellers. And so it's pretty interesting. So here's one of them. Let's take a look at this one up here, this person's shop, and we'll jump into taking a look at that. CreatingEssence. Okay, so one thing is your most valuable real estate is your banner. That's the biggest visual real estate you have in your Etsy shop. So we don't want to flood that with text, especially on mobile. People are not going to read that. So we want to be showing product. We want to show your product. You are also in Washington, D.C. Good to see. Okay. A year and a half, only 40 sales. Okay. We have a lot of work to do on photos. And we have some really great strategies with Nano Banana that would be helpful for you. But I would say all of these photos should be updated except for this one. Okay, so this one is okay, but I would definitely update the rest. The thing is, when you're staging photos like this, you're not using portrait mode or DSLR. You know, we run into trouble when it starts to look kind of like Facebook Marketplace. And that's kind of what's happening here. We're using artificial light. It's reflecting off of these pretty clearly, and it's just not going to get you, it's not really putting the product in the best position. We have a lot of textures happening, a lot of layers and textures and patterns, and your product is three-dimensional and patterned as well. So I would say a big area to focus on. The next thing that we need to focus on, and I can't believe I didn't say this first, was your SEO. And this is, I'm expecting your traffic is like really low. So SEO is a huge thing to focus on. Now, keep in mind, a title is only about 10% of your SEO. We are SEO experts. We have a software company for SEO for Etsy sellers. And I have actually a free training about SEO happening in 40 minutes. So if like this, not going to get any traffic. Oh my gosh, this is the description. So it's missing really every component of SEO. And I would love to invite this person to my SEO training I have one today at 10 a.m. Pacific and one at 3 p.m. So come on and join this. If you need help with SEO, we'll be going over how to create SEO optimized listings in 5 steps, a full demo. You click save your spot and you just pick if you want to do the 10 a.m. or the 3 p.m. Pretty easy, 10 a.m., 3 p.m. And yeah, very simple. So we'll be going over what SEO is, how it drives free traffic, how to choose the right keywords, how to know why you're not getting traffic, and then full optimizations. We'll show you how to do that in just a couple of clicks. So it is going to be a great session. So this shop that we looked at definitely needs SEO help. I'm also curious. It looks like you probably have a Cricut. Curious if you're open-minded to some other product ideas, just because right now what you have is really competing with yourself in search. And so actually on the training today, we're going to go over this repositioning strategy where you can take what you have, reposition it for a new customer. Now suddenly you're showing up under twice as many search results. So I'll be teaching that training today. Definitely join that. All right. So a lot of work to be done. Let's take a look at another shop. What is this one? Okay. Okay, so this is interesting. Very interesting. So we've helped print-on-demand sellers who've done up to over 200,000 per month, print on demand. And a couple things that are going to be required is, number one, I'm looking at this shop right now and I feel like it's 3 months for sales. Maybe they design these things within like a certain amount of time, because it feels too cohesive is what I'm trying to say here. It feels too cohesive. We're going with some of the same colors, but these aren't even like the strongest colors necessarily to have gone with for your blanks. So I'm a little concerned about how cohesive this is with an aesthetic that doesn't have product market fit. So even if you did get traffic, I don't think your conversion rate would be where it needs to be. And so conversion rate is my main concern. And it looks like, based on what I'm seeing here, the traffic they're getting is not turning into sales. And so if this is you, by the way, if anyone here is listening and feeling like, yeah, my traffic is not turning into sales, then tomorrow's training would be for you. And this is about how to make more money on Etsy, increase your sales without more listings. So this is going to be a very helpful session. We're focusing on conversion rate, which is something that turns your traffic into sales. So I'm going to put the link for this one here. We have multiple spots for this. So we have it's free training, 60 minutes. 9 a.m. tomorrow, Pacific time, and then Monday at 1 p.m. If you need an evening spot, we do have an evening spot right here. I believe this is 5 p.m. on Monday. Okay, so would love to see you there. This is the main problem with this shop though, conversion rate. The traffic, these listings and the product mix is not built to convert that traffic into orders. Why is that? Well, when you're scrolling, first of all, a view, someone who sees it, I think it's probably very low likelihood of turning into a visit, a full click. I would guess the click-through rate on these listings are pretty low for a few reasons. One is, first of all, with this, we never want to have full sentences with our text overlays. We never want to do that with our text overlays. Introduction pricing, $17.95 for a limited time, available in several colors. It's way too much text. And the text is the exact same size as the text on the product. Double negative, right? So we have the text on the product. You see the height of that? Same as the height of the text here. So we want to avoid that. I would take off all of that text, by the way. Second, I have some design concerns. And tomorrow, in the training that I just showed you, we're going to be going over how to make more money without adding more listings. So how to take your current listings and make more money. Well, if we have design concerns, that design as it is not going to make any money. So we have to adjust your designs, not creating new products, but making adjustments to what's already here in order to get it to sell. So that's a huge thing that we'll need to focus on with this. For example, when I am scrolling, it's going to be on mobile 70% of the time. 70% of the people on Etsy shop on mobile. It's going to be the size of my pinky thumbnail. And I do not have beautiful long nails. Okay, my nails break all the time. So that's a very small fingernail. And you will see that we have no idea what is on these. We have no idea what the image is. There's 0% chance someone will see the text. You can't even see the text right now. You can't read that. you still can't really read that, right? So if text cannot be read, it's going to kill your conversion rate. If someone cannot read what the text says, it's going to hurt the listing. It's going to prevent them from buying. So there's a lot of issues with the design specifically that we can help them get updated so that it stops the scroll, people can see what it says, and it converts them into a purchase. So there are text overlay issues, design issues, color issues. One other thing to mention is that anytime you're creating a design, I want you to think of this. Anytime you're creating a design, like this person, good dogs, good vibes. First of all, what is making us think that good dogs, good vibes will sell? It's potentially feeling a little bit like live, laugh, love. A little bit vanilla, right? What is the spicy side? What is going to hook them? What is going to make them buy this from here instead of like Walmart or something like a puppy or a dog themed shirt from Target? What is going to make them buy it? That's my first question on the specific copy that was chosen. But what I want to focus on is the colors. The colors. Whenever you're creating a design, you always, always, always want to create that design with the blank color in mind. So she's going with the kind of maroon, Merlot looking heather blank. And that is not the right color to put behind this design. Let's see here. Okay. Also, this is feeling a little bit comfort colors. This color, it's looking a little bit heathered. Okay, so I would be absolutely removing quite a few of these color options. Another thing, oh my goodness. Wow, there's so much that we're going to go over in our training tomorrow. So if this is interesting to you, and if you want to know, okay, how do I identify all of these things that are wrong with my listings, come to the training. So free training tomorrow and Monday. Grab that. I put it in the chat right here. But I found another reason that someone will not buy this. Can anyone spot it? Anyone watching this? Can you see why someone will not buy this? Do you see what caused major loss of trust on this listing? Anyone? Anyone? We've completely lost the trust. I'll scroll through and does anyone see? No, it's not niches. We're not doing niches, no niches. We're focused on profitable customers. Does anyone see the big, big, big mistake with this? This is where I noticed it, actually. Can anyone see this? Why was the trust broken on this listing? Why will no one buy this? It's because look at the scale of this design compared to the shirt. Now look at the scale of this design compared to the shirt. Way larger, way, way, way larger. Smaller, larger. Which one am I gonna get? Which one am I going to get? I have no idea. So when you are mixing up the scale of your designs on your mockups, you're losing the people. They are gone. They're not going to buy. And so it's kind of like, even if someone liked the design, they still don't know which scale of that they're going to get. So there's so many, that is one of like 50 things that you could be doing on this listing to prevent someone from buying it. And that's why this training tomorrow is so important. It's tomorrow and Monday, because it's not about adding more listings. See, this shop, sorry if I get too excited, I'm very passionate about this. If this shop thought, okay, I'm not seeing many sales, I'm just going to keep adding more listings. I have 17 listings. I must need more listings. That would be the wrong area to focus on. We're creating listings in the wrong way. We don't have the SEO. I'm seeing SEO issues. I am seeing design issues. I'm seeing pricing issues. And I'm seeing issues of things that will stop the click-through, right? Like not being able to read the text, right? This, like, remember how I said design the design with the background color in mind? We would never want to put that text on this background color, right? So this is where, creating more listings, just keep creating listings. That is terrible advice, because if we keep doing more of what is not working, that does not make it work. It amplifies the current results. And the current result is only 4 sales in 3 months. We want to be getting like 100 sales a month when you're starting out. So I hope this is helpful. I hope this, we just touched on a couple of tiny things, and there's tons more issues that we could dive into. But if this is opening your eyes and you're realizing, wow, maybe I'm focusing on the wrong things, come to the training. It will give you full clarity on what to focus on. So this is the training all about how to take your current listings and make more money with them. And then this is tomorrow and Monday. And then today, it's an SEO training. So I'll put the SEO training that is today. We're not going to run this past today. So it's only 2 times today. And by the end of this training for SEO, you're going to know how to fix your listings. You could have, actually, everyone who comes to this, you could have all of your SEO updated by the end of the day. By the time you go to bed tonight, if you come to this training, you could have all of the SEO in your shop completely fixed and optimized by the time you go to sleep tonight. Why would you go another day without doing that? That's my question. Unless you really like to have a painful Etsy journey. Who is coming to the SEO training? Who's committed to fixing the listings today before they go to sleep? Oh man. Yeah. Why wouldn't you, right? Why wouldn't you? So that's today. And then tomorrow, it's all about how to fix what is preventing people from buying your listing. So there's 2 different trainings, one today, one tomorrow. They're both totally free. They're both 60 minutes, and you will walk away with total clarity. So yeah. And my big thing is actually, everyone here, could you answer this question? Is what you're doing on Etsy working? If the answer is no, then if you keep doing more of what is not working, does that make it suddenly work? No, that's crazy. That's the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. If you're consistent with the wrong strategies, those never work. So you want to replace what you're doing with what I'm teaching today and tomorrow. I see someone is going to be joining us. Great. Yep. Click on the link, register. Okay. Let's take a look at what else is in here. Newest creations. All right. Question. Why did we go with that font? This is a, let's say this is like a very non-intentional, let's see. It's kind of, I don't want to say this is like a lazy font to choose. However, this is not a font that we want to go with. Every time you do designs, even minimalist designs, and I'll show you an example, but even minimalist designs need to look intentional. And this is an example of a minimalist design that does not look intentional. It looks like someone just typed it in Canva with the default font. A minimalist design that does look intentional is this. Does everyone know Favorite Daughter? These hats, guess how much money these are, you guys? $48. No, they do not go on sale. Favorite Daughter, you guys know this brand? This is a minimalist design that is very intentional. Even down to the shape and the subtle curve of the text, even down to how close those letters are. It's slightly closer than a standard serif font. Okay, so this is an example of a very intentional minimalist design. And then going back to this is unintentional. Okay, not a lot of design effort. So let's go update text. Also, anytime you do a text in a rainbow kind of style, It's going to be very difficult for someone to read. Keep that in mind. So which means that the design that is not the text has to be strong enough to where the text is not the only thing selling it. If you can't read it, it's not helping you, it's hurting you. And it better have a strong graphic element to offset the illegible text. This, when someone is scrolling, they're not even seeing an eye on it, you know? You can kind of see if you scroll quickly, it looks like a blue dot. It looks like a blue dot. I have no idea what that is. Okay, so keep that in mind. This one, we need Kathy to be at the top, not at the bottom. It feels a little squished. So there's a lot of design updates that this person could make, again, without creating new listings, way to fix their current listings so that they actually have a chance of selling. And that's the big thing we focus on, product market fit. How do you know that customers will like your products? Right? If they are, if they're not selling, we have to ask ourselves why. So this person should definitely come to the training too. What else? What is going on here? Okay, we have SEO problems. India. Okay, there's things you need to do when you are selling overseas, if you want to appeal to a US customer, right? You have to create trust. You have to create trust, and trust starts with spelling things correctly, okay? Culture, we're spelling culture this way, culture this way, culture this way. We have to create trust. Also, we don't want that font. Okay, there are really trendy font duos that we can do, and these are not them. Okay. I would also like to see this in more of a setting that's a little bit more mass appeal. It feels a little bit like not exactly, I don't know that this would appeal to a Western market. It ships pretty quickly, looking at that. This is a very confusing description. And I would say Nano Banana would be your best friend. Best friend. You could make this look totally like Anthropology if we made some updates. Let me show you what I mean. And you could charge way more for it, by the way. So when we look at Anthro, this would have been more within like their fall collection. Let me show you. There we go. Okay, so these are all like velvet quilts, right? This, they're charging, can you guys see that? $435 to $595. This, you could absolutely position for this customer, but not like this, right? Even like the sheets look kind of slept in. So we could absolutely position this product for this customer, but not with what we're doing there. Okay, so absolutely, like this could do so well. Even see how it's like folded on the shelves. This type of thing could do really, really well. And that kind of pink, even like the pink velvet look is here. So we're seeing that, but it's just not, this is not the right way to merchandise it visually. Okay, so lots of updates to create trust in this shop. And again, this is what I want to emphasize. This person, it's not about creating new listings. It's not about adding new products even. It's about taking products that have potential that just aren't being, the listings aren't being created correctly. The positioning is not happening effectively. And so this seller has some major updates to change. Now, there are some things I would absolutely boot and get out of the shop. This gold and black situation, I would not do that unless we were positioning this maybe for like a children's race car themed room. But I would not position this as an adult item. I would avoid in the future royal blues and this kind of reddish pink. I would have less red of the undertone in this pink, a little bit more of a cooler undertone like we see here. There's this purple, like I would love to help them with some of their color options, but there's things in here that have potential. There really are, especially with some of the trends that we're going to be seeing for spring, summer. I just did, probably at least 10, 12 hours of trend forecasting over the weekend and into Monday. And there's some things where they could position some of these things as aligning with trends that we'll be seeing, however, not with this presentation. So this could absolutely target that anthro customer who pays $500, $600 for quilts, but they have to fix how they're building their listings. So, and that's what this is training tomorrow is about. It's about, hey, we don't necessarily need to add new products. It's not the products. It's not even the prices. Clearly, they could charge 4 to 5 times more if they showed their product differently and targeted a different customer. It's about taking what you have and actually getting that to work for you. So that's what this is about, how to make more money on Etsy without adding more listings. And that's what this is about. We'll be diving into what to fix on your current listings to finally get them to sell. And you'll know if there are listings that you should delete, because on this training, we're actually giving you our listing deletion guide, which is gold. This is absolutely gold. When you show up, you'll get this. You'll know black and white, yes or no, what to take out of the shop. So hope to see you there. And then, of course, if you need some SEO help, and if you are committed to fixing your listings SEO by the time you go to sleep tonight, come to this training. It's an hour long. It's happening in like 15 minutes. And then it's happening again this afternoon. Training. So I'm going to say fix it by bedtime. That's a good marketing angle. Let's fix your shop before we go to bed. Okay. So I hope to see you there. If you're coming, I'll see you in like 15 minutes or this afternoon. Both sessions are live, and I'll have Q&A. So bring your questions related to SEO.